Hey feline friends, welcome back to my channel. A little bit of a different style of video for you today. I thought I'd just make a more casual video answering questions that I frequently get from you all. And yeah, hopefully clarify some things about my own cat care habits and my channel in general. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So I'm just gonna start off with some basic frequently asked cat care questions that I get. And the first one that I get on several of my videos is, how do you get your cat to stop scratching up furniture? Really great question, and something that I myself had to do a little bit of trial and error on. More recently with my new cat Mika, I've been experimenting with furniture tape. So if you're not familiar with furniture tape, they actually make double-sided tape to put on like your couches and your bed frames so that your cats aren't inclined to scratch them. Mika used to have a really funny habit where she used to jump on top of my headboard in the middle of the night if she didn't feel like sleeping, and she would kind of just scratch it up. So I bought this double-sided tape and I just put it on top of where she used to jump on and scratch, and she no longer does that. So that's been working beautifully for me. If you want to try out this double-sided tape yourself, I'll link the one that I got in the comment section below. And one more thing that I heard is that cats really don't like velvet surfaces. I actually found this to be true because our couch in the living room is a velvet material and Mika has never ever tried to scratch it. I saw her maybe attempt to scratch it once, but after she felt the texture of it, she like quickly drew her paw away. Yeah, just a fun little pro tip if you're looking for new furniture that is also cat proof. And just one more thing I want to mention, it's very natural for your cats to want to scratch. They're gonna want to scratch and need to scratch things. So make sure you just have a lot of different scratching posts available for them. Some cats prefer vertical surfaces, other cats prefer horizontal surfaces, but either way, it's important to have other items that you want them to scratch available so that they don't focus on the pieces of furniture that you don't want them to rip up. Okay, second question that I get a lot on my neutering video. My cat is acting weird or has weird symptoms after neutering. What do I do? So I really wanted to take this opportunity to really just clarify that I am not a veterinarian. I'm not really qualified to answer very specific medical questions about your cat. All of my videos are solely based off of my own experiences or the own research that I've done or conversations that I've had with my vet. I would just say in general, if you notice that your cat is experiencing symptoms or acting strange and it's really outside of what your vet has told you is normal, then I would call your vet clinic and double check to make sure everything's okay. A lot of vet clinics have an after-hour emergency phone number. So if you're worried about calling outside of regular work hours, then I would look for that number on their website or shoot them an email. That being said, every cat is going to react differently or recover at their own pace. So if your cat isn't following exactly what a blog article on a vet's website is telling you, don't panic, just double check with your vet. But most of the times the symptoms that your cat is experiencing may just be unique to them. Okay, next question is, do you let your cat outside? So with both Mika and Spike, I have never let them outdoors. I've read that indoor cats tend to live longer, and you know, there's just less risks associated with keeping your cat indoors. I know some people build like a catio in their backyard so that their cat can go outside in a protected space. That sounds really, really nice, and ideally whenever I move to like a house with an actual backyard, I would want to do that. But for now, I am also living in a city and I do have a balcony, but I've also heard horror stories of cats chasing birds off of balconies, so I don't want anything to happen to Mika because she's a little bit clumsy as well. So yeah, for now I don't let her outside, and I haven't ever let any of my previous cats outside either. Okay, next question is, I'm bringing a new kitten home today. What room do I let them into first? I do have an entire video on bringing your kitten home for the first time. So if you haven't already watched that video, I'll link it down below. But generally, you just want to put your kitten in a small room of your house or apartment that won't overwhelm them. And just make sure that all of their essentials are in there, like their litter box and their food and their water. But what I did with Mika and my previous cat Spike is I let them out in a room that was going to have their litter box permanently. I wanted them to familiarize themselves with where their litter box was going to be and also where their home base essentially would be. be. So typically you should keep them in the same room for maybe about a day or two until they seem comfortable and ready to explore the next room. All right, next question is, how do you potty train your cat? I've only collectively owned 3 cats in my lifetime. My first cat was my family cat growing up. My second cat was Spike, and my current cat is Mika. And all 3 times I've never had to potty train any of my cats. They kind of just instinctively knew how to use the litter box. Granted, I've never taken a kitten in that was younger than 3 months, so it's possible that they were already trained or learning from their litter or their mom before they came to me. I think unless you're bringing home an extremely young kitten, they will likely know how to use the litter box already. How long can I leave my kitten or cat at home alone? I think it depends on the age of your cat. If you have a young kitten, what I've read online is that you shouldn't leave them alone for more than an hour. Kittens are very young, they're very naive and curious, so they can definitely get themselves into some trouble if they're not properly supervised. For older cats, I've read that they're good to stay home alone for up to 8 hours, maybe 12 hours. And that makes sense because, you know, I know a lot of people who work outside of the house during the day and have cats who are perfectly fine at home. I work from home, my job is remote, so luckily I get to spend all day with Mika. Of course, me and my partner go on vacation sometimes. If you are planning to leave your cat home for a few days in a row, I would of course recommend getting a cat sitter, but if you want extra ease of mind, what we do is we give Mika an automatic feeder, and we also invested in a Furbo. If you're not familiar with Furbo, it's basically just a pet cam. It used to be made exclusively for dogs, but I believe they recently came out with a cat version. I don't think there's really much difference between the two, but I have the dog version because I didn't know that the cat version existed at the time. And it's been really, really nice. Obviously, I'm an obsessive cat parent, so anytime I go on vacation and I want to check on Mika, I just take a peek at the Furbo cam and I can talk to her through it, make sure she's safe, and even just take a peek at like her feeder and her water to make sure everything is okay. Next question is, what type of cat breed do you recommend getting? So I've gotten this question in my DMs and my comment sections a few times. I don't really actually have a preference for any particular cat breed. I've said this before on my channel, but when I had Spike, the main reason why I got a Russian Blue was because my previous partner had cat allergies, and Russian Blues are known to be a hypoallergenic cat breed. But other than that, I really do believe that all cats have a wide range of personality traits. There are certain traits that are more strongly associated with certain types of breeds, but in my experience, I've met extremely smart and cuddly Bengals, Russian Blues, tabby cats, etc. And I don't really like to say I necessarily prefer one breed over the other, because obviously I love Mika just as much as I love Spike, and I love them both just as much as I loved my house cat that I had growing up. Okay, so now I'm gonna move on to a couple of questions that are specific to my channel. First question is, why don't you really post? So a lot of you who have been with me at the beginning already know that I took a break from YouTube because, you know, I was going through a lot of personal life events, and I no longer had Spike. So I stepped away from YouTube for quite a while. I think it was like a year and a half or maybe 2 years almost. But then I recently got a new cat, Mika, about 3 months ago. So I decided to come back on here. All right, and that leads me to the next question, which is, what happened to Spike? A lot of you have probably already seen my community post and my video explaining why I left, but this is still a question that I get pretty frequently on a lot of my newer videos, and I totally get it. Like, I totally understand that not everyone's gonna watch every single video I put out, so I just kind of like to reiterate this wherever I can. But TLDR, went through a breakup, was going through a lot of other changes in my life, and my ex-partner and I mutually decided that it would be in Spike's best interest to go with him. So that's why I no longer have him, and that's why I stopped making videos on cats and Russian Blues for a little bit. But yeah, I'm very happy that I was able to adopt Mika a few months ago. I've been feeling ready and wanting a new cat of my own for quite some time now, and yeah, she's just the sweetest little old lady. I mean, she's not old, but she acts old. Old lady that I could ask for. Will you still be making Russian Blue content? I'm not gonna totally leave it out of the question. I mean, the main reason why I'm probably not gonna make as much Russian blue content is because I don't have a Russian blue anymore. I love researching about cats, and a lot of you know that I like to make science-based videos on here. So if I ever feel like making a science-based video, I will definitely include Russian blues into the mix. I will wrap it up there. If you like this and you want more casual content like this, let me know in the comments below. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!